Welcome to my live, and if you happen to be catching the replay later, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. So tonight we'll be using some inexpensive items that you can find at your local craft store and online on my Couture chalk site to make a cute little spring Easter faux palette sign with a popsicle stick carrot. So once you hop on, say hi in the comments. Tell me where you're watching from. Um, and I also want to let you know that I'm streaming live in 3 locations this evening. I'm live on my Facebook business page, I'm live on my YouTube channel, and I'm also live in my private Facebook group, the Robin's Egg Blue Creations Crafty Collab. And I tell you that because if you hear me refer to a comment that you don't see in your comment feed, I wanted to let you know that that viewer may be watching and commenting from a different platform. Also, if you're watching from my private Facebook group, if you wouldn't mind giving StreamYard access to your profile name and pic, that way you show up under your name in my comments and not under Facebook user. That way I know who to say hi to. Speaking of saying hi, I see that Bonita is in the comments and watching. She's watching from her very own little crafty space. Jason is watching from the other side of the door. Also, if you wouldn't mind, if you happen to like what you see in this project tonight, hit that heart button, hit that thumbs up button, spread the Couture love all over Facebook, and all of that fun stuff. Turn on your notifications. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you might want to do that. That way, if I ever can't go live on Facebook, you can always find me on YouTube as well. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and flip my camera, and my desk is a stinking disaster right now. So, bear in the mess. I also discovered I was 3 sticks short, so I quickly had to stain a few more. So I'm just kind of letting them dry. So I started out with this canvas. I believe it is I think it's an odd shaped one because I think I got it at Walmart. So yeah, it's a 5x14, but I really like this size, and it comes in a 2-pack for really it's bleh. They're really inexpensive. So I ripped the canvas off of the backside, and I decided I wasn't going to use it for this project, but I wanted to take advantage of the frame, and so then I also grabbed my 1-gallon paint sticks, and I just cut them to size to fit down the backside. And I thought I cut enough, but I found out I was 3 short, so I'm just going to lay them like this. So what I have done with all of these sticks, is I used my Waverly antique wax that my friend Ashley at A Creations, got me hooked on. It's technically a finishing wax, but it works a lot like it leaves a really pretty stained look effect without the mess of a real stain, except for when I'm using it, because I can make a mess with anything. So I have painted these. So you just paint the wax on and then literally wipe as much off of it as you want, and you're left with this. And then I will show you how I've distressed these white. But first, I need to dry these. So I'm just going to quickly turn on my heat tool and try to get them as dry as I can. So what's everyone up to this evening? Happy Hump Day. We're almost to Friday. Woo-hoo. These are pretty dry. The nice thing about that finishing wax is it dries because you wipe most of it off. And what you don't wipe off seeps down into the wood. They dry pretty quickly. And to help me paint a little easier, I have some masking tape sticky side up stuck to this cardboard. So it kind of helps keep my pieces in place. I think that's pretty good. So I distressed these with a little bit of, you can use whatever craft paint you want. I have this Faux chalk paint. I have also used the Waverly white chalk paint, just whatever I can find in my local craft store. And I'm just going to wipe as much off as I can and literally just kind of dry brush it on. This wasn't quite the effect I was going for, but it works. I think I wanted more of a streaky effect, but this works too. So I'm just kind of dry brushing it on. You can sand stuff off. You don't have to go clear to the edges because the edges will be covered up by your frame. And it might be because I wiped off too much paint, but I'm just kind of dry brushing that in. I'm just going to get a tad more. See if I can add. That might be a bit much. Since I got quite a bit on there, but I kind of want it splotchy in a few places. Okay, I think that's enough tinkering. So I can let that dry, and I can even go in and sand a little bit of it, but I'm also going to see if I can wipe some of that off. See what happens. Probably just making it worse. I'm good with that. Okay, so we'll let those dry a little bit. And while we're letting those dry, I'm just going to set those off to the side. I'm going to bring in my frame. Get this. Sorry, I'm a complete mess this evening. Of course, I don't know how that's any different than any other evening. So for the carrot, I'm using these. They're technically tongue depressors, but they call them quart-sized paint sticks. I get these in a pack of 30 from Menards. I think for like $1. Pretty cheap. So what we're going to do is I'm going to cut them and so into the shape of kind of a stick carrot. So I'm just kind of trying to eyeball where I want to start the carrot, because I want to have a bow and some greenery up here. So I have this little handy dandy tool. I've used it before, and it cuts. I think it cuts through these popsicle sticks. We'll find out. Yep, and it just cuts through them like butter. So I'm just kind of trying to gauge where I want to cut this one, and then we'll kind of use it as a guide. Yep, that's pretty good. So then I'm going to get a ruler out. You won't see me use rulers very often, but so this is about 4.5. So I think I want to take just trying to eyeball. So I think I want the next one to be a 4. So I'm just going to cut one of the round ends off. Some of these are harder to cut than the others. once you get a score, you can kind of tear it a bit. So then I'm going to mark this one at 4. I'm just going to line it up with a cut blade. Ugh. Easier said than done. So then we have our next piece. I didn't cut it quite very straight, but I think that was the first one that didn't get cut straight. It does have lines on it, so you can kind of line the edge up. That's better. So then I took off a 1/2 inch, so I think the next one needs to be 3.5. I'll use that one for the next piece. Now I can use that one maybe for one of the last pieces. Okay, so let's cut an end off. So we'll measure this one at 3.5. Kind of see where I'm going. So then this one will be 3. Use this piece. Just mark the stick and not the ruler, Robin. So anybody have any big plans this weekend? Okay, so then the next one will be 2.5. So we'll just use this piece. And then I don't know if I probably didn't. So that one is 2.5, so we'll mark this one 2. May not be as pointy as I want, but may have to go one more just to get. Yep, let's squeeze in one more. So that one was 2, wasn't it? If I go 1.5. Look at me doing math, Jason says. Well, I'm not having to add or subtract or do any algebra, so we're good. I can do measurements. Oh, goodness. Of course, the last one would give me fits. Okay, so I said 1.5. Still not quite the point, but I think it'll work. Oh! Shoot an eye out with this thing. Okay, I think I got it scored enough. So when you get a little feathery end like that, I just take my little piece of sandpaper. You can keep a nail file handy. I think that's going to work. Okay, so we have our carrot pieces. So we'll put all of this to the side and gather these up. We'll bring our cardboard back in. Sorry, I didn't intend for y'all to see all this much painting, but it is what it is. I'm going to keep these ends around. I don't think I have room for them with my carrot, but so I'm just going to stick these on here. I think I can probably take these off. Oops. So I'm just going to stick these down so they're easier to paint. They're not flying all over the place. Okay, and I'm just going to get I have some Waverly pumpkin paint here. I'm just going to quickly paint them. Like quickly. Just grabbing whatever paintbrush I have. This one's a little wider. I'm literally just going to throw some paint down. I am going to chalk over these. That's why I'm not terribly worried about the paint job. You won't be able to see all my imperfect paint once we chalk over them. Just throwing down some paint. So since spring is just around the corner and we happen to have some bulbs that are getting ready to bloom, tell me in the comments what your favorite spring flower or bush is. Like if you have a flowering bush or a favorite bulb flower. Tell me what your favorite flower is in the comments. Mine is the lilac. Strangely enough, I prefer purple lilacs, mainly because that's a classic lilac, but I do like white lilacs, but I think the purple ones smell better. But that's my favorite flower. Tell me yours. If I had to pick a bush, I would say a flowering bush like either a forsythia or spirea. Forsythias are the pretty yellow flowering bushes. Spirea are the kind of the like viney white flowering bushes. Just kind of peeking to see if I got the size decent. Jason says he likes the spirea. My parents happen to have both. That's why I like both of those. Okay, I'm just going to wipe off my brush really quick in the water that I have sitting over here. I will clean it better later. Okay, so now let's get these dry. I'm just going to do a quick dry and then we'll move on to a different step. I don't know why I shake this. It's not like it makes it dry any different. Okay. I'm just going to let those dry naturally, and I'm going to put those away to the side. I'll put my tape away while I'm one less thing on my desk. Okay, so I now have my frame, and I have all of these pieces. But right now, and I don't have, some of these will not be painted. I tried to painted all the ones I painted earlier, but I will have to go back and paint these. So I'm just dry fitting them right now to make sure that I have enough, because I found out right before I went live that I was missing some. Okay, so yeah, that'll work. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to take these back off. And we are going to I'm going to bring in my hot glue gun. Kendria, thanks for letting me know who you were. Yeah, you're showing up as Facebook user. How are you doing this evening? I'm glad to see that you fared well. I was thinking about you yesterday during the storms that went through Mississippi. Glad you were faring well. Okay, so I'm just going to put a couple of dollops on each end. Oops. And I'm hoping that the hot glue, because I left my staples in, and I'm hoping that the hot glue will kind of help level out my palette pieces. I could try to remove them, but sometimes they're a pain in the behind. Yeah, they're a pain in the behind to get out, so I just usually leave them. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. We're doing good. Just trying to keep up with this crazy weather. It was literally beautiful and 80 degrees on Sunday, and then when I went to work on Tuesday morning, it was snowing. Okay, that's going to work, so I will try to speed this along. My preferred hot glue is Gorilla Glue. It's supposed to be weather resistant, although I haven't given it a whole lot of outside tests, but I do like the way it holds up, even for my indoor projects. And for once, this glue gun, it's a shoot fire. Put those on the, oh no I didn't. Stain through me on the back. For once, this glue gun actually does not drip. Okay. Let's keep plugging away. I thought I'd boo-booed on that last one, but I didn't. So I've just to kind of recap, I've taken, this was a 5x14 canvas that I got in a 2-pack at Walmart. I ripped the canvas off, and I think I've saved it for another project. Imagine that. And then I'm using 1 gallon paint sticks to make kind of a palette sign that I faux stained with this Waverly Antique Wax. And then I distressed it with some white chalk paint. And then I also cut up some tongue depressors to make carrot sticks. So that's what we have so far. And I'm just gluing these down. Ouch. then after this, we will whip out the Couture products and we will create the carrot that's going to go on the front side. And then add all of the fun, cute stuff. And this is not my original idea. I got this idea from another designer named Sarah from Boxy and Bows, Boxy and I don't remember. I'll have to. I think it's Boxy and Boxy and Bows. But I'm elaborating a little bit with chalking the sticks of my carrot. Okay, last one. Just for this part. I'm going to add a little bit to this end. I have to go back and trim all my glue off. Kind of got close to that one edge, but oh my, look at the glue strings. Okay, so here's what our frame looks like. Minus the, so it's actually going to look like that. Kind of like that distressed look. And you can sand it down if you want more of the stained part to show through the on the palette part of the sign. Let me use my, let's see if this is going to melt some of those glue strings. Nope. It's worth a shot. Okay. I'll have to pick through all those later. Let's move my glue gun back out of the way. Bring in our, well, thanks, Mr. Jason. Okay, so here are our carrot pieces that we painted. These were just the tongue depressors that I cut into pieces. And I think I'm going to leave them on this cardboard. Well, so that when I chalk them, they will stay in place and maybe I won't make such a mess. I don't know, we'll have to see. So I pulled out, I like to, I not only look for the transfers that I like for the overall design, but I also like to look at transfers for kind of the background designs. So like this one has a cute herringbone. I can steal the buffalo plaid from this one, or I could use this buffalo plaid since it's a little different than this one. I also have this herringbone. I could use polka dots. I'm just not for sure if I want to use different patterns or if I want to use the same pattern for each piece. So you guys kind of let me know if I should mix and match or intermingle the designs or if I should just stick with one design. That one I don't know. I could also pull out some polka dots, and I was going to use shimmer copper and I still might, but it's out of stock right now. So I thought, of course, I'll probably end up with baby poop brown, but I thought about trying to mix orange peel with shimmer gold. We could see what happens. Seems like every time it doesn't matter what two colors I mix together, they end up as baby poop brown. But I'm certainly up for experimenting. I just wanted to give you an alternative in case, because copper is sold out. going to mix in some orange. I'm going to mix. It will be a shiny baby poop brown. Yes, you are correct. Oops, I don't want that much. Just want a tiny bit. Let's see what happens. I'm sure I'll end up with baby poop brown. No? It actually tones down the orange quite a bit, which actually isn't bad. So I'm just going to make, we're just going to make a little more. That way I won't run out. So that was actually a happy experiment. Of course, this might turn baby poop brown. I have to add a little more orange. You're getting close to baby poop brown. I didn't need that much, but that was what we got. Okay. Let's try mix again and see, or mix in the patterns and see what happens. I'm just gonna stick those on over here. So let's start with this herringbone. I'm gonna move some of these. I think every other one will look funny. I'm gonna wax just a little bit, although I've used, or fuzz just a little bit, although I've used this transfer quite a bit. And actually, I'm just gonna move these a little closer so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm just placing this down on my little paint stick or my little tongue depressor that I cut. I'm going to grab a little squeegee and I'm going to dip it in my chalk paste. I'm not using that one that I created. I'm already bad enough about getting it all over myself. I don't need to. So then I'm just going to drag this over all of that silk screen area. I'm going to try to get off as much as I can because I'm going to try to chalk my next piece without cleaning this transfer. So again, I'm just going to dip my squeegee in my chalk paste. And I'm going to cover up all of that silk screen area. far, so good. And we'll do this next one. And all that paste is kind of helping hold it down. It's kind of acting as my glue. And you can usually, on smaller projects like this, you can get like 3 or 4 different attempts with a transfer before you have to clean it. Which is really helpful. I'm just excited I actually mixed some colors and they didn't turn out to be poop brown. Okay, those 4 pieces are done, so I'm just going to put that over in the water. I'm going to dry these last couple, and then we'll swap sticks and we'll swap patterns. Now, I'm going to take these off. Okay, then we'll add these 4 down. Or 3. Missed. Am I missing one? Hope not. That would be par for the course tonight, though. Okay, so now I'm going to use this flannels and football just for the buffalo plaid part. And I'm going to fuzz it even though it's not very sticky at all. And I've put the backer sheet on the rest of the transfer so that it doesn't stick to the rest of the cardboard that's underneath it. Because that would not be a pretty sight. And I made way too much paste, but that's okay. I'm going to make another one of these so I can just put it in a little container and save it for the other carrot. And you can use different parts of this transfer as you go down. Hey, Kendria, what are you working on this evening? If you're crafting while you're watching, let me know what you're working on. Let's see if that worked. Not for sure I like this pattern as much, but Jason says he really likes the tone on tone stuff that I do. Thank y'all. Okay, pull that off and put that in my water. I'm going to carefully remove this. Try to get some of that off because I can save it for my other carrot that I'm going to make. I'm going to have to put this to the side. Where is it out of the way that I won't make a mess? I think I'll put it behind me. I'll probably end up forgetting it. Okay. While those dry, which I'm going to lay those right there along with these pieces, I'm going to bring in my bucket of water and get my transfers cleaned so that is done. And I can show you how easy it is to clean up. Kendria says she's working on an Easter sign. Is it your template or is it somebody else's template? I still need to go back and watch the replay of your first live. I can't believe I missed it. I'm so bummed. So I have a tub of water here. You can use any water source, whether it be in a tub, a utility sink, a kitchen sink, a bathroom sink, a shower, a bathtub. And I have a board eraser, but board erasers not only work for your boards, but they also work for your transfers. So I have it paste side up, and I'm just using the board eraser to wipe off as much of the paste as I can. And I actually I scrub it on the bottom first just to kind of get more of that paste off. And again, using my board eraser while I hold one end, and I'm just wiping that paste off. Remove my tub of water before I spill it. So now I'm going to flip it to the back side so it's sticky side up. And then I'm going to grab a disinfecting wipe. And we're going to work on the back side. Because I used these 4 times before cleaning them, some of that paste is a little dried on, stuck on. So I'm going to use the wipe to kind of help get some of that out of the silk screen, but it also helps get all of that fuzz off of the back and kind of brings the sticky back. And there's some ground in paste. Kendria says she was so nervous you didn't want to tell anyone. I remember that. I mean, I still get nervous, and it's been 10 months. Although, it's not I'm not as nervous, I guess, as I was 10 months ago. But yeah, I was terrified as well. Like, terrified. But then once I did it, it actually kind of becomes such an adrenaline high. Okay, so once they're clean, you can either let them dry sticky side up like this for about 5 to 10 minutes, or I just stick them right back on the backer sheet, still damp, and they'll just dry on the backer sheet. I actually think they're a little bit easier to place onto the backer sheet when they're damp because they're a little more, they don't stick as hard to the backer sheet when they're wet, and so you can kind of move them around a little easier than if they're totally dry. So then they'll just dry on their backer sheets, and I will be able to store those away when I'm finished. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay, so I'll put those to the side. So we have our frame here. And we have all of our, make sure that those are dry. We have all of our little carrot pieces. I'll get some of my trash put away. Still dry. Okay, so this is our smallest piece. Oops, not the smallest piece. I think they may have to be a little closer together. Does that resemble a carrot somewhat? Trying to get a little bit more space at the top so to have room for my embellishments. What do you think? Does it look like a carrot? Well, it kind of has to now. Okay, so let's bring the glue gun back in. Okay. So I'm just going to put some glue on the back. Another glue stick. I would prefer to use wood glue, but I don't think I have. I think I would bore you guys to tears waiting for wood glue to dry. Okay, next piece. So I saw that Jason told me what his favorite flower was. What's everyone else's favorite flower? My favorite flower is the lilac. Purple, surprise, surprise. Because I hate purple. Seems pretty sturdy. I think Benita meant to say, no way, I hate purple. I do hate purple, but I love lilacs. Okay. What do you think? Does that look like a carrot? I probably should have had one more little piece down here, but I didn't have room. Okay, so now on to the fun stuff. So I have some greenery for the top, but I also wanted to add a bow and then have the greenery. So I have this kind of a lime green with polka dots. I have this cute bunny linen ribbon. Thanks, Kendra. And I have leopard print. But I was going to add, I guess I could still add burlap and still have room. I think we'll use the burlap too. So let's move that to the side. Would have been cute to maybe have used one of those, but I didn't have room, but oh well. Okay, so let's see. Trying to gauge, oops, there went all my scissors, how much ribbon I do need. So if that's the middle, let's flip it over. Okay, so I'm just going to gather that in the middle, stick it in my mini bow jabber that I use for my third hand. It just kind of helps me hold everything. There's my twisty tie. Okay, so let's open the green. I tell you, Kendria, the door hanger painters, all you ladies with your ribbon stashes puts mine to shame. But I only have a finite space. And I have so much of other stuff that I don't even use. So that's probably way too short, but we'll use I might use another layer of that. Kendra says she has a lot of ribbon, but not as much as most people. Whew. I thought I had a lot, but I don't compared to. I think I'll still add this in just to give it some more. Maybe it might be too big. Oh, let's save that. I don't know if I'll need that. So I'm just kind of literally guesstimating, and then I kind of fold it in half. And then I cut that in half. Kendra says she needs a better system though. Yeah. It's always fun trying to figure out how to store it. And it takes so much space on the spools, but so I have been unwinding it, but I have a bunch obviously here that aren't wound. Okay. I think that burlap might be too big, but we shall see. I think as crafters, because we have so much, I think it's a constant struggle to figure out how to store stuff. I always think I find the perfect system and then I run out of space. I don't know if this leopard really goes, but we're going to use it anyway. Okay. I'm not the best bow maker, but so I'm going to take it out. use my twisty or my zip tie to secure it. Oops. I'm just going to kind of pinch and tuck, and pull and tug. Oh shoot, probably pulled a little too hard. I think I need to get that one down, one of these at least. Okay, so now I'm going to tie this tight, or pull it tight. I always have to have a little bit of help. And then let's cut it off. Kendra says, yeah, we don't use it as fast as we buy it, but ain't that the truth? I've got to quit buying stuff for more projects until I either start or finish the projects that I have here. It's ridiculous. I have crafty ADD. I see the next shiny, cool project, and off the Hobby Lobby or the internet I go. Okay, so let's angle cut our ribbons. I'm not a big dovetailer. I prefer the angles, but you do you. Boo. I'll have to keep fluffing because it's not quite where I want it to be. Gotta cut a bunch off. How y'all doing out there? Sorry, I'm kind of concentrating so I don't whack too much ribbon off. Which it's kind of like when I trim my pom-poms, I end up with half the pom-pom that I started with. Let's pull some of that through. It's not the prettiest, but it'll suffice. It's also kind of crooked. Okay. I think it needs a little bit of twine to cover my zip tie. Benita says, making my own little carrots while watching you. What kind of carrots are you making? So I'm just taking a little bit of skinny twine, and I'm just going to wrap it around the inside so I can cover up that zip tie. I swear, I try to find projects that I think are going to be quick so I don't keep you guys for forever, but they always end up being an hour. I appreciate you hanging on. Okay. I've seen better, but perhaps too big, but maybe not. What do y'all think? And then get all this out of the way. Benita says she's using Popsicle sticks instead of paint sticks, and it's very much like mine. Well, great minds think alike. Okay, so let's cut. Actually, I can pull some of these off. I thought maybe I'd just kind of stick some of those in there. Jason says that's cute. Maybe if I get one more. Maybe I just use one. Too much? Not enough? Go back to the drawing board. Just don't know about my bow. I need to pinch those a little bit. Maybe that'll help stick some of those up. That's a little better. I still think that burlap might be a bit too big. Jason, Kendria says that's cute. Okay, so I think I'm gonna attach my bow first. Do you guys think the burlap is too much? I mean, in a way, it's kind of whimsically big, but in another way, it's just too big. Kendra says you can trim the burlap down on each side if you think it's too big. Well, I would probably end up screwing that up. I mean, trim here or trim this way? Well, it might be sticking out a bit. Let's try it this way first. Jason says he likes it big. Oh, I might trim it up just a little bit, especially since I've already whacked it off before I read your comment. That might be a little better, because then I could maybe make the greenery won't. Yeah, I think that's a little better. I need to get a different lighter down here because I'm going to burn my fingers off one of these days. Like that. Okay. Enough fussing, Robin. Just slap it down. Okay, so let's get our glue gun. Kendria says perfect. Well, thank you. I'm going to put a big old dollop of glue down. Push that baby in. Make sure it's good and stuck. And then we can fuss a little more. Okay, now turn it upside down. Probably should have stuck. Better that way. Actually, I wonder. I put those on the outside. See, that one naturally turns that way. That one turns that way, and then stick these single ones in. Will that work? Or I think these need to, because these are taller, they need to go in the middle. Maybe? I don't know. This part I'm not good at. Okay, let's just stick them in. I'm going to get one of my multi-tools out. Kind of help stick that into the glue without burning my fingers off. Okay, I think that's good and secure. I'm going to stick that one there. And my bow will hide all this mess. Stick that down there. Maybe. It doesn't want to stay down. Okay, that one just wants to pop right back up. So let's stick that one there. I'm not good at the greenery part. There. Stick this one in. These multi-tools work great for sticking things into hot glue. I'm holding it down. Okay. So I think we'll see if we can get a straight one. May not need this though. I kind of like it. It's kind of a hole. Okay, I think those are all good and down. Fluff the bow some more because I kind of smushed it. There we go. Super cute, I think. Move my glue gun so I don't burn myself. And then let's go back to this layout and I'll show it to you full screen this way. So there you go. Cute little paint stick and popsicle stick palette sign. You can see, I'm going to bring this back up Let's see if you can see where I've chalked on the carrot. It's kind of hard to see in this light. There you go. Jason says that's adorable. Kendria says that's so cute. Thank you. I think it turned out really cute. So I am going to make another one. So I'll save my chalk paste that I mixed up for the other carrot. Just a quick reminder about the Club Couture transfer for the month. It is this cute Farm Words transfer. I've used it twice before, so you're welcome to go back into my video library and rewatch those videos. I used the barn in the first one on the white 5x7 board and base, and then I used the home and the home suite on a spinning bistro sign with some really pretty shimmer eucalyptus paste. So those videos are both in my video library. Also, if you're a Club Couture member this month, you can get the bunny cutout patterns transfer for 50% off this month. So that is a good deal. And if you are looking to buy or to be a designer, if you happen to be thinking about it for the last couple of months, I would highly suggest signing up this month, because along with the $240 in product value that you get for $99 and plus shipping and tax, you also get the wooden bird cutouts and the bird cutout patterns transfer for free in your kit. So that adds a whole nother $40 onto the $240 value that you get for $99 plus shipping and tax. So a couple of great promotions this month. Also, if you are in the Salina area this weekend, I'm having a DIY graphic tee class. We'll be using my Chalk Couture transfers and the Chalk Couture ink. That is this Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. If you want more information about that, just type class down in the comments and I will send you a link to that event where you are welcome to sign up. It's a lot of fun. You just bring your own tee, tank, hoodie, flannel, jean jacket, pair of jeans, pair of shorts, whatever, pair of canvas shoes would be really cute. Whatever you want to ink on, bring that with you. There is a $10 charge to use my supplies, but it's going to be a lot of fun. You can create a lot of cute graphic tees with some of the transfers that I have. So let's head back to the comments. If there aren't any additional questions or comments, I'm going to go ahead and hop off this evening. I will be live again on Saturday morning at probably 10:30. My normal time is 11, but because I have that class that I need to get ready for, I'll probably go on a little early. So I will see you again on Saturday at 10:30. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.